Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Monday Lunch Digest. It's just me joining you today. Michael, hope we'll be back next week. But happy Monday, happy Monday. Hopefully, you all had a relaxing weekend and are not melting today. So there are lots of exciting things happening this next couple of weeks at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute, really the next month or so. And so we are in the middle of planning our fall workshop season. And so we have lots of exciting trainings coming up. For example, starting on September 7th, we are welcoming Dr. Christine Coleman. Dr. Christine Coleman, she is a psychologist out of California, and she'll be talking about the ethics of serving Latin American families and individuals. So that is going to be a fantastic training. I've met Dr. Coleman online a couple of times, and I can tell she's going to be a great presenter. So be sure to join us for that. I am also happy to announce we are going to be welcoming Dr. Alan Barsky to our training on December 7th. So December 7th from 2 o'clock to 5:15 p.m., Dr. Alan Barsky will be talking about the ethics of going to court. And so the title of the presentation is Clinicians in Court. And so Dr. Barsky, he is a social worker as well as a lawyer in the state of Florida. And so he'll be talking about what we therapists need to keep in mind if we are ever subpoenaed or called to court for one reason or another. So be sure to check out that training. I'm also happy to announce that Tiffany Dilworth will be joining us on Saturday, November 2nd, and she'll be talking about working with grief among immigrant families. And so lots of great trainings. Our fall webinar season is really shaping up, and we'll be announcing a few more trainings this week. I'm very excited for that. And so we also have a couple more consultation groups starting up at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. And so starting on Monday, September 9th, we'll be welcoming Dr. Caleb Black back. So back with more LAC, he'll be discussing written exposure therapy. So if you've ever wanted to learn about written exposure therapy, be sure to check out our learning collaborative. If you have any questions about that, you can send us an email, hello@edmondcounseling.com, or text us 405-440-3034. We will also be happy to host Dr. Scott Secor. Dr. Scott Secor will be doing a learning collaborative on the same day. So Dr. Secor's will be at 8:30 in the morning, Dr. Lack's at 10:30 in the morning. Dr. Secor will be doing a learning collaborative on acceptance and commitment therapy. And so if you're interested in learning about written exposure therapy or acceptance and commitment therapy, be sure to check out our learning collaboratives and send us an email or shoot us a text, and we'll send you some more information. And so we have lots of other great things happening at the Oklahoma Counseling Institute. If you are not part of our email blast that goes out every week. So our email blast, we let you know about new learning collaboratives, new articles, new trainings, and much more. Be sure to send us an email. We'll be happy to add you to our email list. And so in the world of mental health, there's a lot going on as well. And so in the state of Oklahoma, according to a report by the Oklahoman, calls to Oklahoma's 988 caller or text went up 44% last year. So we just observed the second anniversary of Oklahoma's 988 number. And so 988 is a new suicide hotline, or mental health hotline. And so there are many reasons why it might have gone up 44%, but a lot of what the research suggests is it might be due to awareness. More folks are becoming aware that 988 is an option for those in crisis. And so 988, of course, is the mental health hotline, one that you can call or text. According to a report, 72% of all calls or texts to 988 were resolved over the phone without any further intervention. Only 12% required response from the mobile response team. And of those 12%, only 20% of those resulted in additional mental health care. So whether that is referrals or transport to inpatient stays, connections with counselors. And so it seems like 988 has really been helpful in broadening the reach of mental health care access, making sure folks can get more easily connected to resources, as well as decreasing the reliance on law enforcement for these type of calls, which is fantastic. Something that's going on in the grand world of mental health is another study. You know me and my studies. I love to find these studies every week. And so there's a new bit of research from Flinders University in Australia that looked at the relationship between doom scrolling and mental health. And so doom scrolling is the act of just scrolling on our phone, looking at negative news, looking at negative tweets, negative Facebook posts, anything like that. And so what the researchers found was that an increase in doom scrolling, so the more that folks doom scrolled throughout the week, the more pessimistic they became. And so the folks who doom scrolled the most had an increased suspicion of others, were more distrustful of others, and also had an increase in existential anxiety as well. And so I think that's something for us all to keep in mind, not only for our clients, but for ourselves, especially as the political climate is heating up, especially as there's a lot going on in the news lately. I think it's important for us all to be mindful of that balance between staying informed and overwhelming ourselves with doom scrolling, because it's really easy for us to get caught in that doom scrolling loop when we're human beings too. At least I assume you're a human being. And so there's something to be mindful of. We need to, put those reminders on our phone to stop scrolling after a certain amount of time, or, finding other ways to keep ourselves informed, whether that is, looking at newspapers or looking at news websites instead of social media. So just some things to keep in mind. And so I know there's a lot that's going on. I could go on forever about my research. I love it. But it is time for us to move to our winner for this week. So I'm very, very happy to announce that our good friend Karen Pounds is our winner. And so I know that Micah has a $10 gift card for you, Karen. And I think we have your address on file, but feel free to let us know if that has changed since last time you won. But congratulations, Karen, for winning last week's drawing. And so if you would like to be like Karen and you'd like to be entered into a chance to win next week's $10 gift card, then you can do one of three things, or you can do all three. One of them is like this post. The other is share this post. And the third is comment on this post. So each time you do one of those three things, you get another chance to win next week's prize. And so if you are interested in answering this week's question was inspired by my niece. My niece is 7 years old. She's about to start second grade, which is crazy. I can't believe that she's that big already. But she starts school next week, and I got to see her over the weekend. I was talking to her about what she's looking forward to when it comes to the school year. And so I want to ask you all this. What was your favorite subject whenever you were a student in elementary school? I know a lot of us, the answer is probably recess, but if you have other answers, let us know. For me, my favorite subject was always literature. I loved it whenever the teachers read to us. I loved just to be able to have that quiet time. A lot of times my teachers would either dedicate a certain portion of the day, or in the fourth grade, Fridays after lunch, all afternoon was free independent reading. And so the room was quiet. We got to have our snacks. We got to have, some water. We got to sometimes even wear our comfies in school, and we just got to read all afternoon. So I loved literature. And so tell us in the comments, what was your favorite subject whenever you were an elementary school student? And again, every time you like, share, or comment, you get entered into a chance to win next week's drawing, and you also help us out. So every time you engage with one of our posts, you help us get the word out there about the Oklahoma Counseling Institute, which helps us to be able to provide a quality, evidence-based research, education, and beyond to mental health professionals. But thank you all so much for watching this week, and we'll see you next Monday. Take care.